Morning, everybody. Let me just find the mouse here. Off we go. Our topic for this morning is extending JD Edwards with VBCS apps. Before we start the presentation, let me ask you a question. How many of you think mobility will improve your business efficiency? Let's ask the audience quickly. We're going to do a quick poll. Please respond to the poll that will pop up on your screen now. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to do that, please. Popping up, you guys seeing it? Overwhelmingly 100%. Just looking at the results as I come in here, 100%. So based on the poll results, it looks like most of you see the benefit of mobility for your business, which makes sense. We all have become used to or accustomed to using our mobile phones for banking, ordering groceries. I think most of us are also getting accustomed to the scooters on the road and all kinds of other daily activities. Many executives travel and do not have time to boot up a laptop to approve a purchase order, or an engineer does not have time to run back to the office to capture an emergency purchase order for a breakdown. It is clear mobility is now a business expectation, which enables faster approvals, operational responsiveness, improved user experience, and then mobile workforce enablement. There are a number of third-party solutions out there that provide mobile and scanning solutions for JD Edwards. The question is, why have these not been widely adopted? The first and foremost reason is the cost of the software as well as any associated hosted cost. We recently received a quote from a well-known vendor for a warehousing solution, and we were utterly shocked with the price that we received for the software as well as the implementation. And that puts such solutions out of reach of most organizations. Implementation cost, that's another consideration. These projects are normally very expensive, complex, and do have long timeframes. Then another consideration is the cost and ability to customize. Mobile applications are very specific to organizations. Each wants its own personal look and feel, and often third-party software is rigid in its design, making customizations quite costly, if even possible. This is also one of the reasons why JD Edwards actually stopped developing their set of mobile applications a couple of years ago. Another factor is the availability of skills. The availability of skills to support the solution. Often there are a limited set of local skills, and there's reliance on a small pool of specialist resources. And one of the very big concerns is device safety, data exposure, security risks. Questions like, do I need to expose this port externally remain? And one of the last factors that influences is the vulnerability to OEM changes. Third-party solutions are not part of the technology roadmap of vendors like Oracle and could easily be affected by strategy and technology changes by the vendor. Traditional mobile applications were also very susceptible to OS changes. In summary, traditional mobile solutions created cost and complexity with high technical debt, complex support models, expensive customizations, and they were not necessarily aligned to Oracle's roadmap. So, what is Oracle's strategy for mobile applications for JD Edwards? Oracle moved away from pre-built apps to extensibility. Business logic remains in JD Edwards, and VBCS provides the experience layer which lowers upgrade risk. Previously, Oracle had the M applications for tablets as well as smartphones, and that is no longer the case. Oracle, in a couple of releases ago, made the purchase order approval progressive web application available as an example of how to create these mobile applications. But there are no other applications being considered at the moment for Oracle. Instead, JD Edwards' digital platform enablement is driven through APIs, Orchestrator is key here, AIS, and low-code application development tools such as VBCS, which is available as an Oracle PaaS offering. The strategy is to develop light mobile applications using a tool such as VBCS with Orchestrator. And by light, we mean as little business logic in the mobile application as possible. Let Orchestrator and JD Edwards do the heavy lifting. All right, so I mentioned Oracle PaaS. I'm not sure if you're all familiar with what Oracle PaaS is. Oracle PaaS stands for Platform as a Service and is a set of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure OCI services that provide developers and IT professionals with tools, middleware, and database capabilities to build, deploy, and manage applications in the cloud. So this is more bigger than just looking at the mobile application. It provides a digital platform to leverage AI, automation, integration, development, and analytics. Very important as well, Oracle PaaS offerings are not just for other Oracle products, it's available for all third-party software as well. So let's have a look at some of the services that are available as an OCI PaaS offering. First up, we have application development services, which include low-code tools such as VBCS and Apex. Then we have AI and machine learning services, and these are not the only services available. I'm just highlighting a couple. So from AI and machine learning services, document understanding and Gen AI services are also available, which will also be highlighted and displayed in our next topic with AI, with automating AI receipts. Then there's a whole host of security services like identity and access management, as well as web application firewalls, ensuring that your mobile devices are secure or all your integrations are secure. Process automation services and integration services such as Oracle Integration Cloud, which is utilized and deployed for process automation as well as workflow orchestration. We've got some database services like Autonomous Database and analytics services like Oracle Analytics Cloud. But today we will focus on VBCS. Just in summary, with Oracle PaaS, you invest in an ecosystem enabling integration, automation, artificial intelligence, security, low-code development. All right, so I mentioned VBCS. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. If you're not, I can explain it to you quickly. So Oracle Visual, VBCS stands for Oracle Visual Builder Cloud Services. It's a low-code development platform that's free as part of the OCI service. So any development you do using VBCS, you don't have to pay any license fees or any license costs for that. It's also being low-code, it's easy to master and easy to learn. You can use VBCS to build web and mobile applications. And VBCS is commonly used alongside JD Edwards, Oracle Cloud ERP, Oracle SaaS app, and all the other Oracle SaaS applications. When we look at the demo, you'll see that our mobile application looks the same as the SaaS applications that are available. And VBCS can also be used for extensibility with other applications which uses APIs. Not just for other Oracle products, it can be used right across the enterprise. Mobile applications that are developed using VBCS are basically operating system agnostic. They can run on just about any device and any operating system, especially because they are progressive web apps. VBCS utilizes APIs to connect to the JDE AIS servers and other external systems. Then there's a secure layer for VBCS. VBCS is a secure platform integrating with Oracle Identity Cloud Services, Oracle Identity Access Management, SSO providers like Okta and perhaps Azure AD, and it supports multi-factor authentication. So anything developed in VBCS, you can make sure that your data and your system is completely secure. Let's move on to the next slide. So why use VBCS for any JD Edwards extension that you want to do? VBCS is Oracle's preferred digital experience layer for modern Oracle ecosystems. It aligns with Oracle's modern JD Edwards strategy, which centers around API, Orchestrator, AIS, and the extensibility framework. So it's a low-code, no-code development platform that requires minimal hand coding and can be used for rapid development. It's upgrade friendly. You're not developing or modifying any core JD Edwards code. So it lowers your technical debt and make future upgrades and ESU applications much easier. Provides a single development platform. You can build and deploy both mobile as well as web applications with one platform, on a single platform. It's got strong governance and security. We have enterprise-grade security, roles, and compliance built into VBCS, as well as it's got an API-first architecture. I'm not going to go through this slide in detail, but we are going to distribute the slides after. Hello? Sorry, I thought somebody's asking a question there. We will provide the slides and distribute it after the session. And this will give you a clear picture of all the security checks you can build into and security mechanisms you can build into a VBCS developed application, starting with user devices, identity and access management, the VBCS application layer, as well as integration and API security, as well as the backend services. And any the application developed using VBCS and Orchestrator, just remember it will adhere to your JD Edwards security that's set up as well. So basically, VBCS extends JD Edwards securely without exposing core ERP services directly. You can be 100% sure and confident that your data and your system is unexposed. Now, this is a very short list. I could have made 5 slides, 10 slides out of this. So use cases and applications where we can use VBCS. Just so I highlight a couple here, web portals such as supplier portals. You can think about customer portals, employee portals. From a mobile application perspective and scanning solutions for that matter, we're listing a purchase order approval. You can purchase order inquiry. You can do purchase order entry, requisition entry. From a work order perspective, work order entry, work order approvals, inquiries, issues, work order issues, inventory, cycle counts, all your adjustments, transfers, issues can be developed. And develop mobile applications for those using VBCS. And then from a sales perspective, you can look at sales order entry as well as quotes. And we don't even have it on here, expense management for technicians that are on site and need to claim. So basically, if there's application in JD Edwards that you want to build mobility for, you can use VBCS for that. And with the Orchestrator, it will work. All right, I'll put our money where our mouth is. So we developed a purchase order entry application, which I will take you through now to show how easy it is when it's used for creating and submitting a purchase order in JD Edwards. Also bear in mind that the Orchestrator will drive the version that's called. So we say it's a purchase order entry application. we can easily adapt that same application for requisitions. The orchestrator will drive the version that it calls, and therefore you can easily use it for requisitions as well as purchase orders. After I selected the purchase order entry mobile application from the menu, my purchase order entry form will be displayed. We developed the purchase order mobile application using the Oracle Redwood development and design framework, which is available in VBCS. Using the Redwood design framework ensures that the mobile application looks exactly the same as the other Oracle SaaS and cloud applications. We also adhere to the JD Edwards form design principle of using a header as well as a detail section. Our header section includes the default information that will be used across all the lines and the fields which are critical for the purchase order, including the branch plant, supplier, buyer number, ship to, and requested date. We also ensured that the critical fields are made mandatory on the PO entry to avoid errors when the purchase order is creating using orchestrations. I am now going to complete the header information starting with the branch plant. If I know what the branch plant number is, I can simply type it in. Otherwise, I can use search functionality. So let me click on the search. The search functionality works exactly the same as a Visual System JD Edwards, where we can make use of wildcards to search for information. The data is also fetched live from JD Edwards, ensuring that you always get the latest list of available values. So for this example, I want to use the Eastern Eastern Manufacturing Center. In my description field, I can use a wildcard search, say Eastern. Let me just make sure I've got no spaces in front. And it will return the values after I've clicked go or hit enter on the keyboard of the mobile phone. Next field I'm going to populate is my supplier number. I know which one I want to use, 4343. I can simply enter that. I can enter my buyer number or look it up. I know values I want to use. Complete my ship to. I know that's 6031. And I need to enter a requested date. That is the date I want the goods to be delivered. Using my calendar, I select the date which I choose. And I'm going to enter or add a header attachment. If I click on any of the completed fields, I will be able to view the description of the field. After I completed all the mandatory sections and data on the header, my detail section becomes available for editing. We've added a field called purchase type, which is used to indicate whether the purchase is for stock, or it's a direct purchase, or it's for a non-stock item. In this instance, I want to buy a stock item, so I'm going to enter S. The purchase type is based on the line type in JD Edwards. Then I'm going to look up the item number. We designed the item master lookup field to default the branch plant to ensure that we only get a list of values that are actually linked to that specific branch plant. I am going to buy a mountain bike. So once again, using the wildcard search, I type in mountain bike in description or mountain in description one and click go or hit enter on my keyboard on the mobile phone, and the list of values returned, which I can now select. Based on the item number selected, the description 1 and description fields are populated, as well as the unit of measure. I can enter a quantity of 10 for, I want to buy 10 bikes, so I enter my quantity, enter a unit cost. You can also leave the unit cost blank. If we leave the unit cost blank, the value will be fetched from blanket orders, agreements, or supplier catalogs, depending on your setup in JD Edwards. So let me scroll down through the mobile application and complete the reference fields. In this case, I'm going to enter Q001 for my quote, and then I click on Add Line. Items will then be added to my grid, where I can view them or add a new line. So in this case, I'm going to add a new line. I want to buy another stock item using my lookup once again, my search field. I am going to select a touring bike now. And I want to buy a red touring bike. Once again, the description and unit of measure is defaulted. I enter the quantity which I wish to purchase. Enter my unit cost. Complete my reference fields if I want to. And I can click on Add Line again. This line is also then added to the grid. I can then click on Next, which brings up a confirm order page for us. On the confirm order page, my header information is displayed, as well as the detailed information for each line. I can then review and make sure all information is correct and verify that my attachment was added successfully. Once I'm happy with the detail, I click submit, and via orchestration, this purchase order will now be created in JD Edwards. There's my purchase order number. So let's have a look in JD Edwards to see. Let's see what the order looks like in JD Edwards. The order number that was created was 10940. Click find, and there it is. I click on my attachment, the header attachment that we added. There that is, successfully created. Let's select the order and look at the header as well as the details. All the header information as supplied on the mobile application has been updated and populated in the purchase order, as well as all the default information that's linked to the purchase order version that's used in orchestration. For example, the approval route code that has been picked up. Have a look at the detail. There are both lines that we created with all the details as provided in the mobile application and all the default information that is linked to the supplier, the items, and the branch plant. There's our reference number that we used. So, in all, successful. Close the POA detail. And so, like I said, that's a PO entry application. Can be used for requisitions as well. as you saw there, the orchestration drives it, and that will determine which version you call. So I don't think it's just for PO approval, PO entry. It can be done for PO requisitions as well. Right, so we'd like to invite you to experience the application, PO entry mobile application, through a 3-month proof of concept. No cost, no risk, and obligation to your organization. As discussed earlier in the presentation, mobile applications are often tailored to unique operational requirements of each business, and we would like your participation and feedback, and will therefore play your participation and feedback will therefore play an important role in shaping any future enhancements. So the POC, what am I doing here? Will provide a practical low-cost opportunity to evaluate the value of Oracle VBCS. If you're not using it already, there's a bit of introduction there at no cost, no risk for it to the organization. And you can evaluate the PO application within your environment. That will give you the benefits of a modern application. We'll provide it for 3 months. It will be hosted on our result-read OCI instance. Not a lot of requirements. Minimum tools release of 9246 and JDE 9.1, so long as we can all run orchestrations. And then obviously have a normal production cycle. We're deploying it in non-prod first and then moving it to PD and have it free for 3 months. If you're interested, there's my contact details. For our contact details, please let us know. Thank you.